If you're really multi-passionate, it's likely that researching your ideas, weighing the pros and cons, and other methods of analysis will still leave you undecided about what niche to choose, because the problem is that you love all your ideas and you can't stand the thought of scrapping any of them. I made a video last month about my recommended method for choosing a niche for your brand and business, and if you haven't already, watch that first and see if you can make your decision that way. But for those of you who are still stuck, here are 3 strategies for overcoming your indecision and finally picking a niche. The first strategy is called practice mode. Now, a lot of the time we get really excited about new ideas especially, and we think that we want to start a whole business around that idea or some other type of venture. But there is this big question looming in the background of, is this going to be sustainable? Am I going to continue to be passionate and excited about this long term so that putting in the effort now to start this business will be worth it and it won't just be a waste of my time? One of the easiest ways to figure out if it will in fact be sustainable is to do practice mode. So what you do for practice mode is you're just going to pull out a pen and paper or open up a new Google Doc or something like that, and you are going to start coming up with content ideas around that particular topic or within that niche. For example, if I was thinking maybe I want to start a cooking channel here on YouTube, well, I would start writing down content ideas like different recipes and maybe different techniques and different favorite recipes or collections of recipes. And you want to be specific with these content ideas, although you can write down more general ideas as well. Now, what you're going to do for practice mode is write down lists like this for all of your different ideas. And you want to set a goal of trying to get to 50 content ideas for each different topic you're considering, although with some of them that might be harder than with others. Basically, by pushing yourself to come up with these ideas now, you're going to prove to yourself how much you really have to say about each of these topics, which will help you to see how much long-term potential they really have. Now, you could just use this method, but you'll probably want to use one of the other 2 methods along with it to really make that final decision. The next strategy you can use is called dating an idea. So you've got these different ideas you're considering pursuing, and you're considering popping the question and marrying one of them and sticking with it long term. But that's a tough decision because that's a lot of commitment. Well, one of the easiest ways to overcome that indecision is to try dating just one of the ideas first, and then maybe dating another one after that, and really giving them a full-on trial run and seeing whether they're the right match for you and whether you want to stick with them long term. You can date an idea by choosing one to start with, and keep in mind, this isn't your forever decision, so it's a much easier decision to make. Choose one idea to start with, and then just go all in with it for the next 3 months. Commit to dating that idea exclusively for the next 3 months. Now, like I said, much easier decision to make because you're not saying no forever to those other ideas. You're just saying, let me try this one out first. And by doing that, you give yourself permission to go all in and to really test that idea out. And you might be wondering what exactly that would look like, this process of going all in with an idea. Well, it depends on what the idea is. Maybe it's an idea for a YouTube channel. So that would look like actually starting the channel, coming up with your video ideas, and publishing videos every week for at least 3 months. And then at the end of that time, you can evaluate how it's going. Do you want to keep doing this? Do you still have lots of content ideas? Are you enjoying it? On the other hand, maybe your idea is a business idea. So going all in for 3 months would look like creating a business plan, coming up with a beta version of your product, and doing some sort of beta launch where you actually actively try to sell your product and you see what the response is. And then at the end of that 3 months, evaluating what the response of others was and how much you're enjoying it and how much potential you see at that point. Because by actually working on something for 3 months, you are going to see so much further into the future than you can see right now sitting at 0. The third strategy you can try for finally choosing your niche is called the freedom method. So this was the idea that helped me to finally figure out what I wanted my blog and then later my YouTube channel to be. And what it involves is letting go of trying to choose a niche. Stop trying to force yourself to fit into a box. Stop trying to force yourself to choose one topic to talk about, because if you're anything like me, you know how hard that can be. It felt like an impossible decision. So what I finally did was I just let go of those expectations and gave myself freedom to create anything I wanted, with the caveat that I was holding myself to creating every week. So for me, I was applying this to my blog. I knew I wanted to start a blog, couldn't decide what I wanted to focus on. So I finally just said, okay, I'm gonna write a blog post every single week, but I'm gonna stop trying to fit it into a certain category or niche, and I'm just gonna write about what I'm most interested in, and I'm going to see what comes of that. I'm going to notice if there are certain trends, if there are certain topics that I end up focusing on, and it's kind of like dating an idea, but instead you're just feeling it out and seeing if you find a stronger attraction for one of these ideas. Now, if you want to use all three of these strategies in combination to really make sure that you figure out the best niche for your business or for your YouTube channel, then here's what I'd recommend. Start with practice mode, the first strategy I mentioned, and come up with those content ideas. Then move on to the last strategy I mentioned, freedom method, and just go for it. Just try a bunch of different things for a few months. And then maybe you'll be feeling inclined toward one, but not quite ready to commit for the long term. And so that's a good time to try dating that idea. Go all in with that one idea, with that one topic for the next 3 months. And then you can decide, do you want to date a different idea? Or are you really enjoying this one and you want to commit to making this a longer term thing? Something that I think is so important to remember when it comes to choosing a niche is that choosing a niche doesn't mean that you are saying no to all of your other ideas. It just means that you're choosing an idea to focus on with this particular business or brand or YouTube channel. Those other ideas, they can still be things that you love, and you can express that love for them in other ways. Maybe you still continue to study them, maybe they are hobbies, or maybe in the future you decide to start other businesses or other YouTube channels. Or maybe you run this business for a while and then later you decide to switch to a different business. And that's totally all right. But you're not saying no forever, and you're not even saying no right now. You can keep loving those things and you can keep expressing that love in other ways. And finally, once you have finally chosen your niche, what's next? Well, there are a lot more steps that go into building a money-making online business. I have a free online course called Small Business 101 that will teach you all the ropes and show you exactly what you need to do to build your business and brand. You can sign up right now for free at gillianperkins.com/101. If you haven't already gotten your copy of the free course, then make sure you do that now, because it's not going to be free forever. There's a link down below where you can find it, or you can just go to gillianperkins.com/101. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. If you enjoyed it, which I'm guessing you did since you made it all the way to the end, then hit that like button to give it a boost in the algorithm so other people can find it more easily. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. And if you are, then I'll see you next week with another video.